Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana, Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jaya Radhava Madhava Kunja Vihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhana Vraja Janaranjana, Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Okay, Hare Krishna. Chapter 16. We will be doing chapter 16 today. Let's offer obeisances to Shri Shri Radha Govinda, ISKCON Mangalore. Okay, so the screen is visible. The slides are changing, right? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Slides are changing, right, Mataji?
Yeah, Mataji. No, it's not changing, Mataji.
Which slide can you see?
Chapter 16, sections.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So there are 3 sections, 24 shlokas in total. So first 6 shlokas deal with the good qualities and demoniac qualities. So name of the chapter 16 is divine and the demoniac qualities, right? Which Krishna says. So Krishna starts listing the good qualities and demoniac qualities in the first 6 shlokas. After that, Krishna describes elaborately about the demoniac nature, and then he gives us a cue how to go back, escape into the supreme destination. How to make a choice between good and bad and go back to Krishna. Okay, so in chapter 15, what did we see? Krishna explained about the banyan tree, right? This banyan tree does not exist in this material world. It is a reflection. This material world is a reflection of the real banyan tree. Real banyan tree is the spiritual world. Okay, and the reflection of that banyan tree is the the material world. So it is the inverted banyan tree which does not exist in reality. Okay, Krishna is using it as an example to describe um, this banyan tree. Okay, the material world. And what is the cause of this banyan tree? It is the desire, the unfulfilled desires of human beings, of us, all the living entities. Okay, it is the unfulfilled desires which cause this material world. If we don't have any desire left within us, we will go back to Krishna. Krishna does not have a need to create this material world, right? So this reflection does not exist, does not have to exist anymore. And then, yeah, the branches are all the different species, the different forms of life we take up janma after janma, right? And based on, again, our karma and desires. Now, in chapter 16, Krishna explains the divine qualities and the demoniac qualities. And how is it related to chapter 15? Based on the qualities, based on these divine and demoniac qualities, our karma, whatever karma we do is depending on the qualities we have. And because of our karma, our desires develop. Okay, because of these qualities, our karma and desires develop. And because of that, we take janma after janma in this material world and wander here. Okay, so Krishna is going to explain in this chapter how do we make a choice between the good and bad and go back to Krishna. Okay, we already discussed about this, right? Shuddha Sattva Guna. So Krishna also explains the demoniac qualities and the mentality which drives one lower on the tree and ultimately to hell. Okay, so the highest planet is Satyaloka or Brahmaloka, where Brahma resides, right in the of this tree. And then it is the highest, that is Brahmaloka, and then the lowest will be Asuraloka, all the Patala Lokas, and middle planets are all earthly planets. Okay, so with demoniac qualities, we can, like, just go fall behind completely to the lowest planet in the material world. Okay, and with divine qualities we can raise as high as Brahma in Brahmaloka, and we can reside there and then go back to Krishna easily. Okay, so that's why these qualities have a direct impact. Okay, so transcendental and divine qualities, section 1. So now in first three shlokas, Krishna lists all the good qualities, the transcendental qualities. Okay, they are called godly qualities, saintly qualities. Okay, and with these qualities, we can go to Brahmaloka, elevate ourselves to the highest of the banyan tree, and ultimately go to Krishna. We can attain liberation. Okay, so there are 26 qualities in total, 26 good qualities in total. Okay, so what are they? So uh, yeah, so Krishna said fearlessness. Okay, there are 26 qualities in total. Okay, so Krishna lists all of them in these three shlokas. Fearlessness, purification of one's existence. Okay, purification means what? Cleaning ourselves, purifying ourselves from all the bad thoughts, desires, bad karma that we've done, the sinful reactions that we are supposed to face. So, purifying ourselves from all that is called purification of one's existence as a whole. Okay, and then cultivation of spiritual knowledge, and then charity, self control. Okay, so cultivation of spiritual knowledge is very important. Okay, so that's the reason Prabhupada says you need to read scriptures every day, at least 1 hour. Okay, definitely, if we don't have 1 hour time, at least spend 30 minutes every day and read at least one shloka and purport of Bhagavad Gita. That will itself do. Okay, then charity. Don't give charity to people who will use your money for bad purposes. Give it for people who is going to use your money for good purposes. Okay, and then self control, performance of sacrifice. Okay, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from passion for honor. These are the transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. These are the 26 qualities Krishna explains. See, now you might be thinking, become pure and become divine and go back to Krishna. It's very simple. What is darkness? I mean, what is light? Absence of darkness is light, right? And what is jnana? Absence of ajnana is jnana, right? Absence of foolishness is knowledge. Same way, absence of bad qualities is good qualities. Once you become a devotee of Krishna, once you start chanting, every day regularly with concentration, okay, with steady focus. You don't have to put in external efforts or extra efforts to develop these 26 qualities. They automatically start developing within ourselves. Okay, that is it's as simple as that. Okay, because what happens is, when you have to focus on each of these 26 qualities, the real focus, that is Krishna, is going to fade. So the real focus should be Krishna. Okay, the moment we think about Krishna all the time, these good qualities automatically develop within us. Okay, that's why chanting is called the first step of purification. The more and more we chant, and more we try to chant offenselessly, what happens is, the more and more these qualities start developing within us without our knowledge. Okay, automatically it happens. Okay, first one, divine nature, right? Prakriti, Daivim Prakriti. So our activities performed in the mode of goodness according to the Vedic rites. Okay, so following the regulative principles and then doing our activities according to the Vedic, prescriptions. Then those activities are called divine. Okay, Daivi Prakriti. Not just whimsically doing something. Okay, I just got this thought in mind, I will execute. No, you should always go to the Shastras and check if whatever you're doing is correct, if it is allowed or not. Okay, then we can all try and become divine in our actions. Okay, they are transcendental in nature, auspicious for progress on the path of liberation. Now, activities done in the mode of passion and ignorance, they can never ever give you liberation. Okay, because there is always some gain involved, right? What am I going to get? And then you think about the profits you're going to get, and then you perform the activity. So that will not lead you to liberation. That will lead you to karma bondage. You have to face the karma reaction. To face the karma reaction, you have to again take the janma in this planet, again come back. Okay, liberation means no next janma, going back to Krishna directly. Now, the choice is ours. Okay, what do you want to choose? That decides our future. Okay, whether our we get liberated or whether we get bounded. It depends on the choice we make. Okay, that's why Krishna explains both good qualities and demoniac qualities. He doesn't say, okay, you need to just develop these 26 qualities. No, he's giving us a chance to choose. Okay, because he never forces. If he were to force, then none of us would be here. He would somehow make all of us devotees and we would all go back to Krishna. But he does not want to enforce anything. Okay, he always says, surrender to me out of love, devote yourselves to me out of love. Okay, he wants love from us. He does not want just surrenderance, out of enforcement. Okay, that's why he's giving us a chance to choose. Okay, and then transcendental nature and its qualities, advantages and disadvantages. Demoniac nature and its qualities, advantages and disadvantages. These are the things we discuss in this chapter. Okay, this is just an overview of what we will be learning in this chapter. Okay, so um abhijatasya. So Krishna says in the shloka, abhijatasya, that means automatically one who is born with all these transcendental qualities. Such a person is called abhijit. Okay, and how do you get these qualities? How do you make a person born with these qualities? There's something called Garbhadana Samskar. Okay, so um, when see, marriage in Krishna consciousness or in spirituality, one has to get married only if that person wants to produce Krishna conscious children. Okay, if that is the main purpose, only then marriage is encouraged. Okay, otherwise there is no point in getting married. Okay, there are so many unsuccessful yogis. We already saw in Bhakti Yoga chapters, right? If we cannot complete our devotional service in this life, Krishna gives us a chance to take birth in a Brahmin family, a Vaishnava family, or an aristocratic family, and he gives us a chance to rewind or resume our spiritual life from where we stopped, right? So there are so many such unsuccessful yogis waiting to take birth in a Vaishnava family or in an aristocratic family. Okay, so we as devotees should understand that we have to give chance to those unsuccessful yogis. So this is our responsibility. That is the reason we have to get married, to produce children who is Krishna conscious, so that we can help them complete their, or help them resume their spiritual journey, and then help them get liberated. If they get liberated, we also get liberated. Okay, a disciple, okay, or your children or your Krishna conscious child can always help you also get liberated by following the Krishna conscious rules and regulations. Okay, so this is called as Garbhadana Samskar. Okay, so when a married couple should practice this Garbhadana Samskar and then attempt to get children. Okay, so this is the way we a Krishna conscious child can be born. Okay, very very important. And this is how Prahlad was born. Okay, so what happened, Hiranyakashipu once went to do tapasya, okay, meditation near his regular place where he goes. When he went there, even Narad Muni came. Narad Muni, in a very loud voice, he was meditating on Narayana. He kept on, uttering the name Narayana, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. He was so loud that it was disturbing Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu meditates on Brahmadev. Okay. So it was so disturbing that he stopped his meditation and he went and scolded Narad Muni. He was like, "Why are you shouting Narayana, Narayana? It's disturbing me." And still, Narad Muni, Narad Muni somehow buttered Hiranyakashipu, and Hiranyakashipu went home. Okay. He was like, "Okay, today my meditation is not possible. I'm disturbed. I will go back home." He went back home, and then Hiranyakashipu's wife, okay, Hiranyakashipu's wife was, she had just taken bath and she had come. She was looking very pretty, okay. So he actually fell for her beauty, okay. And then uh, uh, even after, when he was looking at his wife, this Narayana, Narayana was echoing in his ears and mind, okay, all the time. Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya. This mantra was echoing in his mind. He couldn't take his concentration off this mantra, Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. And Hiranyakashipu's wife, she is a very, very great devotee of Krishna. Okay. So obviously she will be thinking about Krishna every minute. Okay. Then when they tried for child, since he was also thinking about Narayana, Narayana, and she was also thinking about the Lord all the time, that's why a devotee was born to them. Okay. And Prahlad, such a great devotee, was born to them. Okay. So consciousness is important. This is called Garbhadana Samskar. Okay. We have to think about Krishna. We have to think about this purpose. Ki, okay, we want a devotee child, and then attempt. Okay. So this is very, very important, and this is called Garbhadana Samskar. Okay. So in scriptures, it is given, we have to chant. At least both the husband and wife has to sit and chant at more and more rounds. Okay, a lot of rounds for this purpose. Okay, and then get a child. Okay, that's very important. And yeah, so yeah, in Vibhuti Yoga also Krishna says begetting a god child is Krishna himself. Okay, so sex life is not condemned provided the process is used in Krishna consciousness, what we just discussed. Okay, so in Krishna consciousness, this should be our main purpose. Okay, and um, if a mother and father is a devotee, that is the reason child is also going to become a devotee. Okay. And yeah, so person with these enlisted qualities is called sannyasi. Okay, so person, if a person has all these 26 qualities which Krishna just listed, that person is called a sannyasi. Okay, or a spiritual master. And this sannyasi is a spiritual master of even brahmanas. Okay, brahmanas who are said to be god realized people. Sannyasi can even become a spiritual master of these brahmanas, because these 26 qualities are so important. Okay, so Krishna, now we will see each of these 26 qualities that Krishna has listed. Fearlessness is the first one. Okay, so fearlessness means depending on Krishna for everything. Okay, so not depending on anything else, not being anxious about anything. Okay, surviving without any support or a guarantee of support. Okay, because we are so sure that Krishna will protect whatever the situation. That is called fearlessness. Okay, Krishna will protect whatever the situation. Avashya rakshibe Krishna, we say. Okay, one of the symptom of surrenderance as well. Okay, so if he has the fear of protection after renouncing his people, he should not accept the renounced order of life. Okay, because we should completely depend on Krishna for everything. And one must be fully convinced and have full conviction that Krishna as Paramatma is always within, seeing and knowing that, knowing what one surrendered to him intends to do. Excuse me. Okay, so these are the qualities. Um, First quality, fearlessness. Okay, abhayam. Abhayam is also called as extreme fearlessness again. But what I'm trying to say here is abhayam, avishya rakshibe Krishna is one of the symptom. When you surrender to the Lord, this is one of the symptom. If you are always depending on the Lord, and if you are sure that Krishna will protect you at whatever the situation is, like Draupadi, right? She was being insulted in the court, but what did she do? She prayed to Krishna, right? She never gave up. Last minute, till the last minute, she was so sure that Krishna will definitely protect her. This is called abhayam. Okay, and sattva samshuddhir, purified existence, the second quality. Okay, so distancing from women and wealth. This is again, so see, as grihastas, we can also follow this quality, sattva samshuddhir. How? I'm not saying we have to stop working, stop earning money. No, we have to earn money, we have to accumulate wealth. As grihastas, it is important. We cannot go to forest and live a celebrated life, but we have to use that wealth for service to the Lord, not for our own sense gratification. Okay, and then distance from women does not mean okay we should not get married. No, we have to get married, but we have to avoid this illegal relationship or illicit relationships. Okay, there is no ashrama between brahmachary ashrama and grihastha ashrama. Brahmachary ashrama is single, staying single, right? And grihastha ashrama is married. There is nothing in between. There is no there is nothing like live in relationships or anything given prescribed in shastras. Okay, so you either get married if you like somebody, or you stay single. Okay, there is nothing in between. We have to understand this. Okay, that is the meaning of distancing from women and women. Okay, that helps us in purified existence. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, okay, he was strictly prohibiting all the feminine devotees from meeting him or offering obeisances to him. They were not even allowed to go near him. Okay, because we follow him, right? We follow the leaders. Every leader is followed by people. So if he has a as a sannyasi, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came as a sannyasi, right? So if a sannyasi does not follow these rules strictly, definitely we will not follow. So he was setting an example, showing us by example how we have to practice this sattva samshuddhar. Okay, but he was very generous. He was not physically allowing women or devotees to come near him, but he was definitely very generous to everybody. He never told, okay, I will not give harinam to women, right? He gave harinam to everybody. That way he was very generous to uplift all the fallen souls. Okay, even Haridas, Chota Haridas, okay, just this Haridas Thakur and Chota Haridas is are two different people. Okay, Haridas Thakur we already discussed, right? A prostitute came, and that story we already discussed. This is Chota Haridas. He is a different person. He came to become a devotee. He came to become a brahmachari to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But unfortunately, what happened because of his lusty attitude towards young women, he could not progress in his brahmachari ashrama. Okay, so Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, no, you cannot stay as a brahmachari anymore. You have to go out, get married, no problem. Okay, but this is what I told. There is nothing in between brahmachari and grihastha. Okay, if we like a person, we have to get married. Okay, we either have to stay single completely or get married. Okay, there is nothing in between. And then Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti, cultivating and distributing knowledge. What knowledge? Spiritual knowledge, nothing else. Okay. Yeah. So a sannyasi's duty is also to go house from house, enlightening householders on spiritual advancement, encouraging them. Okay. Humility, going door to door and living a mendicant life. Okay. See, it's not that they are begging because they are lazy or they don't want to work or anything. They are not begging either. They go and educate householders about spirituality, and householders give something in return. When you take knowledge from a person, you have to give payback, right? So they are repaying the sannyasis with food and clothing and money and all that. Okay. So because grihasthas have to maintain sannyasis. Okay. Because sannyasis have dedicated their life to spreading spirituality, spiritual knowledge, and definitely we have to maintain them as grihasthas. Okay. And yeah, and then uh, 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 yeah, preaching Krishna consciousness should be the core sacred duty of all the advanced sannyasis. Okay, so that's why Prabhupada mentions even grihasthas can become sannyasis, even we can become sannyasis. How? By preaching Krishna consciousness, by chanting Krishna, by being renounced. Sannyasi is what? Renounced order of life, right? Nothing is ours, leaving everything. So we can also stay renounced the way we are. We don't have to change our lifestyle, but we have to change our attitude. You have salary in your hand, saying that this salary is not mine, it is Krishna's. So staying renounced from the salary that you have and using it for Krishna. Okay. So that way you can stay renounced. The moment you stay renounced, you are also a sannyasi. Okay. You don't have to put in extra efforts to become a sannyasi. Just by dedicating everything we have for Krishna, we can also become sannyasi. Say you have nice gulab jamun in front of you. Stay renounced by offering it to Krishna first and then eating it as prasadam, then you are also a sannyasi. Okay. So this way we can all become sannyasis. But if you are not confident enough about your renounced order of life, okay, if you're not advanced, then you should not leave this world and go to leave this society and go to the forest and accept that formal sannyasa. Why? Because it becomes falgu vairagya. Okay, because our thoughts will be wandering in material only. Okay, my office, my salary. Okay, if I was working, I would go to office now. Even if you go and meditate in the forest, our thoughts will be around these things. So if you're not advanced, then this sannyas ashrama is not recommended. Okay, that's why Prabhupada mentions you, and even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu encouraged grihastha ashrama to a lot of people, and most of the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were all grihasthas. And every time a grihastha would get a kid, he would celebrate. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go and celebrate, saying that okay, another devotee has entered this world, right? Because a devotee gives birth to a devotee child only. Okay, so that's why grihastha ashrama is very very recommended, because we can use everything to Krishna, to serve the Lord. Okay. And yeah, so according to shastras, we have to give 50% of our earnings to Krishna conscious movement. Okay. And we have to give charity where temples are built, or if there is some Krishna conscious activity going on, we have to give charity there as grihasthas. Okay. Otherwise it becomes, like I told, sense gratification. We will use all the salary for ourselves, which is not recommended. Okay. And charity should be mode in the should be done in the mode of goodness, meaning we have to not expect anything in return after you give something in charity. Okay. And yeah, and then self control, Dhamma. Okay. Self control is again meant for householders. If there's Ekadashi Vrata, you're taking it up, and somebody gives you something, chocolate or something, don't get tempted and eat it. That is called self control. Right? Controlling your tongue is the main thing. Uh, it's very important. It's the starting point of self control. Okay, if you control your tongue properly, you can control your sex life as well. Okay. And sex life, controlling sex life is one of the major challenge, and that is the most obstacle, I mean, that is the main obstacle in devotional life. Okay, because the highest amount of spirituality you get when you know when we are attached to sex life. Okay. So to progress in spirituality, we have to have self control, enough amount of self control. Okay. And we must do sacrifices as per the performance, as their performance requires large amount of money. So we can involve money in all these things and stay renounced from our money. Okay. Brahmacharis, sannyasis, and those in vanaprastha have no money. So we as grihasthas should maintain all of them. Okay. Brahmacharis, temple brahmacharis. So that's why we have to donate to all the temples where brahmacharis are, serving. Okay. And then sacrifices like Agnihotri, Vedas, so that way we can give money to brahmanas and feed them as well. Okay. So this way we have to maintain all of them, because as grihasthas it is our duty. Okay. And in Kali Yuga, the best sacrifice we already know, Sankirtan Yajna. We have to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And that is one of the best sacrifices we can do. And we can purify our existence as a whole when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra with focus every day, regularly. Okay. Preferably in the morning. Okay. And then next, that is, so sannyasa ashrama, there are 4 ashramas, right? It starts with Brahmachary Ashrama, and where it is a student life or you stay single. And then it is Grihastha Ashrama, where we get married. And then it is Vanaprastha Ashrama, where we retire. Okay. And then we hand over our responsibilities to our children and all. That is Vanaprastha Ashrama. And then Sannyasa Ashrama, where we are fully focused on Krishna consciousness, or realizing God. That is called renounced order of life. Okay. Now this Brahmacharya Ashrama. So we dealt with Sannyasa Ashrama and Grihastha Ashrama. Now it is Brahmacharya Ashrama. Okay. Swadhyaya. Okay. That means we have to cultivate knowledge by reading Vedas. Okay. That's why olden days people were sent to Gurukul. Children were sent to Gurukul. That was called Brahmacharya Ashrama, where they used to go to Gurukul, learn Vedas, learn everything about scriptures, and then come back. Come back and what? They get married. They enter Grihastha Ashrama. Okay. In olden days, people used to follow all the 4 ashramas properly, but now even after people get retired, they still want to earn. They do part-time jobs and all that. Okay. So it's important that we have to devote some part of our life to the to Lord. Okay. Some or the other way. And then Vanaprastha Ashrama is retired from household work. Okay. Even from office when you retire, after, that's why Prabhupada mentions in purports, after 55 years, after 50 years, stop earning, focus on Krishna conscious activities, give your responsibilities to children, they will take care. Okay. And you have to focus, increased amounts of focus should be there on Krishna. Okay. And yeah, see, one should not remain a householder or grihastha throughout his life. Earning is part of life, that is not everything in life. Okay. Yeah. So, and even in grihastha ashrama we have to live our life as per Vedic injunctions. Okay. Following the regulative principles: no meat eating, no intoxication, that is no drinking, no smoking. Okay. No excessive of anything, even coffee, tea, getting addicted to anything, even getting addicted to web series, serials, TV shows, these are also called intoxications. Okay. And then no illicit sex. Okay. These are all very very important. We have to follow these Vedic injunctions. Okay. And um, in Kali Yuga, 25 years each must be spent in Brahmacharya Ashrama, Grihastha Ashrama, Vanaprastha Ashrama, and Sannyasa Ashrama. Okay. So first 25 years Brahmacharya Ashrama, the next 25 years, that is 25th to 50th year, it is Grihastha Ashrama. 50 to 75th year of our life, Vanaprastha Ashrama. 75 plus Sannyasa Ashrama. Okay. And Sannyasa Ashrama, Vanaprastha Ashrama, we have to practice austerities, as in controlling our body, mind, and tongue. Okay. This is called tapasya, and this is the only tapasya in spiritual, I mean in Kali Yuga. Okay. uh, uh, in Kali Yuga we cannot perform severe austerities. We don't have that health supporting us. Okay. So the only tapasya we have to perform is controlling our mind, body, and tongue. Okay. And simplicity and straightforwardness. Okay. Very very important. Even if you have a villa, big car, you have to still be simple. How? By saying this villa is to serve the Lord, and use that villa to serve the Lord. Call devotee friends, organize kirtan parties where you do kirtan and then feed them nice Krishna prasadam, and then you decorate your house with Krishna everywhere. You can have a nice puja room. If it's a big house, you can have a big puja room and worship Krishna, right? You can bring big deities of Gaura Nitai, right? Because only Dikshits can worship Radha Krishna. So we can always get Gaura Nitais and dress them up, right? So this way we can actually celebrate our life. Krishna consciousness is very interesting. It's very much fun. Unless we enjoy, unless we know how to make it interesting with our creative ways. I mean, it's very nice. Okay. And then ahimsa, non-violence. Non-violence also means mental non-violence, not just physical non-violence. Okay. Don't keep shouting at a person. Don't keep torturing a person with words. Okay. Hurting a person through words mentally is also on violence. Okay. So we have to refrain ourselves by doing all that. Okay. And then uh, yeah, don't kill animals. This is very very important. Okay. Animal slaughtering for non-veg or anything for that matter is also violence. Okay. So it's very 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 important that we have to stop meat eating. Okay. Because animals are also living entities like us. Okay. And to stop this, in Vedas it is mentioned, once you give in the form of bali, when you sacrifice an animal, that animal is immediately elevated in the next janma to a human life. Okay. And so that is why this bali animal sacrifices are all performed. So this people used to take advantage, and they started giving sacrificing animals every day. And they used to start eating in the name of sacrifice. They used to eat animals like sumptuously to gratify their senses. To stop this, Krishna had to come down in the form of Buddha. And you know what Buddha told? There is no soul. There is no existence of soul. What soul are you talking about? This animal, if you kill this animal has no soul. The the animal will not be elevated to human life in the next janma. Okay. Just to stop this animal sacrifice, which people used to take advantage of. Okay. So that doesn't mean there is no soul. Definitely there is soul. But according to the situation, to stop that massive animal slaughter, Buddha came and tweaked the spiritual concept a little bit so that people stopped animal slaughter. Okay. uh, yeah, so it's very important to stay away from animal slaughtering. And then satyam, truthfulness. Okay, very very important again. Okay. Just to suit one's personal interest, we cannot tweak concepts or facts and then lie. Okay. Very important. And then shruti, hearing from the authority, a bona fide spiritual master, is very important. Okay. We cannot say, okay, I some do we learn? Okay. When you go to college, do you think the principal would have hired some 10th fail candidate as a lecturer? No, they always look for certifications, right? PhD holders, only they can go to colleges and teach. Yes or no? Why not a fifth standard kid? So bona fide, we have to, same thing goes to spirituality as well. We have to hear from bona fide authorities. Always look for the guru parampara. Which parampara does that person belong to? Okay. Then only listen to their classes, take classes from them. Okay. Then akrodha is also meaning is akrodha means not getting angry, not being provoked. Okay. Anger, we think being angry with a person actually affects that person. It actually affects us more than affecting the other person. Okay. So don't be angry. And then it is an impediment in transcending. So it's very easy, to say, okay, don't be angry, don't do that, don't do this. When it actually comes to practicing all this, it's very difficult. So how do you make all these qualities a reality? How do you practice them? How do you actually inculcate them within yourself? That's where chanting comes into picture. The more and more you chant, the more and more you chant attentively. Okay. With focus, without deviating your mind on so and so thoughts. Okay. The more and more that high quality chanting you do, the more and more these qualities automatically become inculcated in you. Okay. And you can automatically see the difference. Chant for 6 months, 7 months continuously. Okay. at least 5 to 6 rounds every day, in the morning preferably, because when you wake up in the morning and chant, you will not get other thoughts that easily. Okay, focus will be there. And see, the seventh month you will start seeing the difference. You will not unnecessarily take things to your mind. You will not feel anxious. And if there is a fight going on, you will not you will be like, let them fight. I mean, people will keep fighting, let me concentrate on my work. Okay, and this is how I can see the difference in myself. If I can see, you can also see. Okay, apaisunam. Okay, what does this mean? Finding fault finding attitude in others. So before you find faults in others, find faults in your own self. Right? The very simple example: if you point out your finger, four other fingers are pointing at us, right? At our own self. So remember, before you find fault to others, we have to find correct ourselves first. Right? Cheto darpana marjanam. Sikshashtakam says Cheto darpana marjanam. Right? Meaning what? Clean ourselves, clean the dust which is accumulated on the self. Okay, on the mirror of ourself, and then um, you know look into the mirror. You will actually see your reflection. On a dusty mirror, can you see yourself? No, you cannot. Right? So first clean the mirror and then you see. That means we have to first clean ourselves first, and then find faults in others, which is not recommended anyway. Okay, and then being modest. Okay, being modest, not being proud of anything. Okay, and then achapalam means, like I already told, determination and patience without frustration. If there is something bad happening around you, you'll if you chant and if you have this achapalam quality in you, you will be like, let whatever happen. Okay, I will concentrate. You will be so determined in what you're doing. Okay, this develops only through chanting. Okay, tejas, it is meant for kshatriyas. Okay, to be very strong, to protect the weaker people around you. That is the duty of kshatriya, right? And then shaucham is cleanliness. Bathing is the first step. Okay, physical cleanliness. We clean our body every day with physical cleanliness. In the same time, we have to clean our mind and our soul every day with what? Chanting. Chanting is for spiritual cleanliness. Okay, and yeah, so specially meant for mercantile people, vaishyas, because they have to deal with a lot of people. No, as vaishyas, they have to go to the market, sell a lot of things. So they have to meet a lot of different people. So they have to take bath properly morning and evening. Okay, very, very important again. And then Shudras also. Shudras labor caste. Okay. But Shudras usually don't perform cleanliness that well. That's why Prabhupada insists that even Shudras have to take bath every day. Very, very important. Okay. So we have to live our life, whichever varna we belong to, we have to live our life according to the Vedic injunctions. Very important. Okay. Yeah. So this is a summary of all the qualities, 26 qualities that we just um, saw. Okay. Now, धम्बो दर्पो अभिमानश्च क्रोधपौरुष एव च अज्ञानं च विजातस्य पार्थ सम्पदमासुरीम्. The ignorance, pride, arrogance, pride, anger, conceit, harshness, and ignorance. So these qualities belong to the demoniac nature. Okay, so now Krishna starts explaining about the demoniac nature. These are the so Krishna is highlighting these four qualities because these are four very important qualities which is present in demons. Okay, arrogance, pride, anger, conceit, harshness, and ignorance. Now, okay, you can unmute and answer. Can you tell me, can we find a person who is completely good? You can unmute and answer. Can you find anybody with only these, 26 qualities in this Kali Yuga? Can you? Yes or no? Can you find at least one person with only these 26 qualities?
No, my problem.
Sorry.
No, you can't find like that.
Yeah, so you can always find a mixture of these qualities in a person, right? You can find a person who is very good, say 12 to 15 of those 26 qualities, and at the same time that person might be arrogant, that person might be angry, okay, that person might keep getting angry for small things. Okay, the moment you have anger in you, anger belongs to demoniac, so we cannot say that person is good, divine. So we have to, that is the reason in Kali Yuga it's very difficult to find a person who is good, and we cannot say anybody is good for that matter. Okay, and we cannot say everybody is demoniac either, because even demoniac people in Kali Yuga might have one or two good qualities. Okay, so that's why it is always a mixture. Okay, and that's why Prabhupada says when you chant, all of us can uniformly go to the platform of goodness, and then from Sattvaguna automatically to Shuddha Sattvaguna. Okay, now the royal road to hell in the purport, if you go back to and read this shloka's purport, you will understand Prabhupada mentioned something called royal road to hell. So what is royal road to hell? That means um, this refers to demoniac qualities. Okay, when you not when you don't follow the principles, or the regulative principles or the spiritual principles, or the Vedic injunctions, there it is called the royal road, it's the highway to go to hell. It's a given that we go to hell. Okay, there is no possibility of liberation. We already saw this, right, in the second slide. Passion and ignorance, if you are in the mode of passion and ignorance, all the doors for liberation are closed. Okay, so it's royal road to hell. And so being arrogant, proud of so-called material opulence that you have, it will not take you anywhere, because this material opulence is also temporary. Okay, it has a beginning and an end. So behaving whimsically, not recognizing any authority, or not respecting elders, these are all qualities of demons which it takes people nowhere. Okay, it definitely takes people nowhere. The best example is Hiranyakashipu. Okay, he was so demoniac that he wanted to evade even the demigods planets, even heavenly planets. He used to fight even with Indra, right? He wanted so much opulence that he never respected even their positions, the demigod positions, or the lord's position for that matter. He was so passionate and ignorant. And what happened finally? He led himself on the highway to hell, right? This is called royal road to hell. Narasimhadev came, and finally um, he could go back. See, Hiranyakashipu got liberation because he was one of the Jaya Vijay, right? Jaya Vijay is who? Dwarapalakas of Vaikunta. But we are not Jaya Vijay. If we continue on the path of Hiranyakashipu, we can definitely go to hellish planets, undoubtedly. Okay? We are not liberated souls. We are Nitya Bhaddas. Okay? So we cannot become Hiranyakashipu. We cannot say, okay, God came and killed Hiranyakashipu, he attained liberation. God will not come and kill us. Even if God has to kill us, we have to have some punya in our account. Okay? दैवी संपद विमोक्षाय निबंधा यासुरामता माशुचा sampadam daivim abhijato asi pandava. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demoniac qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with divine qualities. Okay, so Krishna is saying transcendental qualities, divine qualities take us to Vaikunta, liberates us, whereas demoniac qualities gives us bondage, karma bondage. Okay. Now Arjuna, Krishna is encouraging Arjuna, saying, Arjuna, don't worry, you are sinless. Okay, you do not have any demoniac qualities in you. Okay. Now, now the question arises. Krishna is asking Arjuna to fight, right? And then Krishna is also saying, Arjuna, you are not born of demoniac qualities. So is fighting good? So is fighting good? No, fighting is not good, but depends on the situation. Okay, so there is something called justified violence. Okay, violence has to be justified, or we have to practice violence when it comes to when people are taking advantage of so-called spiritual values, like Duryodhana, right? They were taking advantage because Pandavas, Yudhishthir especially, never went away from the spiritual values, right? So what did Shakuna and Duryodhana do? Took advantage of that, and they started dominating with all the bad qualities. And when adharma dominates over the good qualities, or dharmis, the so-called good people, we as devotees, we have to take action, even if it's through fighting and killing those demoniac people. We should not hesitate. This is where violence is justified. Here in Mahabharat, violence is justified because Krishna is asking Arjuna to fight to eradicate adharma, right? So although Arjuna, Arjuna still, even if Krishna was asking him to fight, he still wondered about the pros and consequences, right? So that makes Arjuna a transcendental person right from his birth. That's why Krishna is saying, as a Kshatriya, we have to think about the pros and cons. I mean, Arjuna did think about it, right? That's why Krishna is calling Arjuna a sinless person, okay, a good person, transcendental person, okay. Yeah. And then and he was also thinking twice to kill Bhishma and Drona, right? So why? And Arjuna was had no anger. He was having no false prestige or harshness in his behavior. Okay. So again, all these qualities prove that Arjuna was the real Kshatriya and he was a transcendental person. Okay. He was also following the regulative principles. द्वैभूता स्वर्गौ लोकेऽस्मिन् दैवासुर एव च दैवो विस्तारशः प्रोक्ता आसुरीं पार्थ मे शृणु. Now, O son of Pratha, in this world there are two things of created beings. One is called divine and the other is called demoniac. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me demoniac qualities. So what do you understand from this? Krishna has explained divine qualities just in 3 shlokas. Just 26 qualities. That's all. Entire chapter going forward, this entire section deals with demoniac qualities. That means you can understand, right? In Kali Yuga, so many demoniac qualities are there. Only 26 good qualities. Everything else is demoniac qualities. So Krishna elaborates more on demoniac qualities because there are hardly any good people in this world, especially in Kali Yuga, right? So Krishna explains elaborately about demoniac qualities so that we can focus on how to eliminate these demoniac qualities within us. We will also understand where we stand. Okay. Yeah. So like we already saw, there are two kind of beings, divine and the demoniac. Okay. And divine, anybody with divine qualities completely, without any demoniac quality, if you have only these 26 qualities, then such people are called demigods because they are divine. Okay. And if we have a mixture, then we are definitely demoniac. So in Kali Yuga, everybody is a demon. Okay. And both demigods and demons are are born to Prajapati. Okay. So if both of us are both of demons and divine people are born to Prajapati, then what is the difference between divine and the demoniac? Okay. So one major difference is demoniac people do not accept and respect the supremacy of God. Okay, they are atheistic in nature. Okay, they respect themselves more than God. They don't respect anybody else. Okay, but divine people or demigods are servants of God. They know their position as serving as to serve the Lord. Okay, and they lead regulated life. Okay, they know their limits. Even if they enjoy according to the Vedic injunctions, right? For example, getting married is what it's like giving people license to sex life, right? If without marriage, if we have illicit connection with men or women, then it is called irregulated life, right? It is not prescribed in Vedas. Demons have that irregulated lifestyle, okay, but divine people enjoy, but in a regulated manner. Okay, this is just one example that I could give you. And then um, okay, the next section Krishna explains detail about the demoniac qualities. Okay, pravrittim na pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana vidurasara na shaucham na pichacharo na satyam teshu vidyate. So opposite of the divine qualities that we just saw, na shaucham. Okay, so demoniac qualities. Okay, so Krishna starts listing one by one. So demons are neither clean, nor do they have proper behavior, nor they are truthful. Okay, they always lie. Okay, as you see in the picture, intoxicating themselves, losing their focus, losing their mindfulness, and doing all sorts of criminal activities after they're intoxicated. Okay, because once we are intoxicated, we do not know what we are doing. We lose control on our self, right? And then that's why, today if you see, if you meet a lawyer, in Bhagavatam class, Prabhuji was explaining the other day, the all the the major cause for all the crimes, 90%, 95% of crimes today are because are because of intoxication, and all the other illicit connection with men and women. These are the main causes of all the crimes behind crimes happening today in this world. Prabhuji happened to discuss with one of the lawyers. Okay, so the lawyer said the main cause, all the criminals, no, if you interrogate criminals, it is very clear they are either drunk when they are performing that criminal activity, or it is due to because they are interested in women. Okay, that's why they perform all these criminal activities. Okay, yeah. So asuric people, asuras, no, asuric people, they do not know what is right and what is wrong. They do not know what is to be done and what should not be done. And as we already saw, they are unclean, improper behavior, untruthful. Okay, so among Aryans, okay, the most advanced civilized people, okay, they adopt Vedic civilization. Prabhupada says in today, no, in today's Kali Yuga, everybody is a civilized animal. Okay, in Kali Yuga, everybody is an animal, civilized animal, the so-called civilized animal, because that's such kind of modern civilization uh, does not follow any Vedic injunction. Even parties, no, even government allows parties, no, today. Even government allows what is that, alcohol factories and alcohol shops and everything, right? The so-called constitution, the government constitution, also allows all these things, right? So that's why the modern civilization has forgotten completely about the Vedic injunction. Vedas do not allow all these alcohol, intoxication, meat eating, animal slaughtering, nothing as such. Okay, so that's why Prabhupada says everybody in Kali Yuga is a civilized animal, not fit to be humans. Okay, it's very far fetched to be, to call ourselves as human beings. Prabhupada mentions. I mean, it tricks us, but then understand it is so serious. Krishna consciousness is a serious need. Okay, for us to become good human beings first, and then become good devotees and go back to Krishna. Okay, maintaining external cleanliness by bathing, brushing teeth, shaving, changing clothes, etc., is very important. Basic manners which even school going kids know, but hardly people follow, right? Most of the people don't follow today. Even in the so-called CEOs of companies wake up aram say 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the noon. Okay, bed coffee without brushing their teeth, they eat, they drink, right? They don't shave, half the people. Many people, if they are at home, they don't even take bath. Okay, so it's very relevant. You might be thinking these are all told in school, these are all taught in school, but are we following these? No, right? So that's why it's important that we reawaken ourselves. to all these good qualities. Okay, and then internal cleanliness, these is all external cleanliness. Internal cleanliness, as we already discussed, chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, that is the main thing. Okay, and following the rules and regulations prescribed by the acharyas, okay, as given in Manu Samhita. Okay, these are all the rules and regulations for human beings. Okay, especially I mean, Hindus do follow them, but nowadays nobody follows. Okay, so Manu Samhita is where each and every rule, okay, the so-called rules that we are learning, um, uh, 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 as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, all these rules are mentioned in Manu Samhita. Okay, so this is like a manual for our life. Okay, human beings should follow. Okay, so in Manu Samhita, it is given women should not be given freedom as they are knave like children. Okay, there's a very controversial topic. A lot of people question why women should not be given freedom. Why should they be tied at home? No, it's not that we have to confine them to house, or we should ask them to stay at home. It's not because men want to dominate or anything. It's because women need protection. Okay, women are very sensitive, they are soft hearted, they are they are they believe things too easily. Okay, so they can be cheated very easily. Okay, and world today is not safe. I mean, even world, I mean, Manu Samhita came when, even before Kali Yuga. So even before Kali Yuga, world was not safe for women. World can never be safe for women because of these soft hearted qualities that women have. Okay, it is because of this reason, it is because women need protection, that Manu Samhita clearly mentions women must not be given a lot of freedom to go out. Okay, because women need to be protected. See, as long as they are single, they should be under the protection of parents, and once they get married, they should be under the protection of husband. Okay, and once they get old, they should be under the protection of children. So women needs protection at every point in life. Okay, it's people say, no, nowadays people say, all women say we are independent, we are equal. But understand, the scripture clearly says women need protection. That means we need protection. Okay, so many instances are there. We can discuss someday. It's a very long topic. Okay, why women need protection and why men do not need protection. There are so many instances from the scriptures alone that proves this fact. Okay, uh, असत्यम् अप्रतिष्ठं ते जगद आहुर अनीश्वरम् अपरस्पर सम्भूतं किम अन्यत् कामहैतुकम्. Okay, so they say that this world is unreal, that there is no foundation, that there is no God in control, it is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust. This is what demons believe. Today also, if you meet a lot of atheists, people who don't believe in God, they also believe in this. This world does not have, I mean, cause and consequence. Whatever, they don't believe in karma. Okay, they don't believe that if you do something, you have to face the consequence. And they believe that the very foundation of this world is sex desire. Okay, um, and that's why this world is going forward, moving forward, and there is no other cause other than lust. This is what demoniac philosophy is. Okay, so it's totally against, or it is totally opposite as what is given in the shastras, right? According to the demoniacs, the world is unreal. It's like a phantasmagoria. Okay, now, with no cause, no effect, no controller, no purpose. Okay, we cannot believe this. Definitely nobody can accept this theory. Only at least only atheists can accept this theory. Okay, cosmic manifestation is due to the chance of material actions and reactions. If you read Bhagavatam, it is mentioned how creation happens, how this mahatattva comes into picture, how one by one all the physical elements develop. Okay, it first of all, it is sky. Okay, where the space, no, the one of the five basic elements, ether is one of it, right? And ether and sound, the quality of sound, they are related. Okay, In space you can only hear, there is only sound, and then after that different quality of these five elements develop. Okay, ether, water, fire, earth, air, right? These are the five qualities, and correspondingly the five sense objects also develop. Okay, touch, sound, sight, all these five qualities also develop. So it's clearly given logically how material creation happens. The nothing just happens just like that whimsically. Okay, and they never accept that world being created by God with a certain purpose. They first of all don't believe in God only. Okay, they don't believe in the difference between spirit and matter, and they accept the supreme spirit. They don't accept the supremacy of God, as already discussed. Okay, and ignorance, they are all caught in the ignorance, where they are in a dreamland enjoying their own dreams. Okay, and not believe in the existence of soul. A lot of people don't believe in soul. They just think they just have one life. After this life, God knows what happens to this body. Okay, they don't understand that philosophy. Okay, now from them, material nature is the from for them material nature is the cause of this manifestation, and there is no other cause. According to them, material nature is in and all. Okay, it's all in all. There is nothing spiritual. There is nothing higher to material nature. They are like frog in a well. Whatever they see, they believe only that much. Okay, and they do not believe in the words of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Maya dakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Under my direction, the whole material world is moving. That's what Krishna is saying. Okay, but they don't believe in this word. Okay, so that means they do not have perfect knowledge. Etam drishtim avastabhya nashtamano अल्पबुधा भूदया बुद्ध्यया प्रभवन्ति उग्रकर्माणा क्षयाया जगतो अहितः. Following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Okay, so it's very natural for anybody to, for such demoniac people to get to, first of all, they are very bossy, dominating, so obviously they are so passionate, ambitious, that they want what they want, and for that they can go to any extent and destroy the world. Okay, they are illusioned. Okay, there is no intelligence, because they think to be advancing but engage in what is destructive. Okay, so it's called ugra karma. Okay, causing destruction to others, painful, horrible, destructive activities. Being less intelligent, they are engaged in activities targeted to destroy the world, nuclear weapons, causing harm, disturbing peace and prosperity. Okay, with no concept of God, or creating a godless society. They think they are advancing, but they are not. Okay, there's something called simple living, high thinking, right? But demoniac people are exactly opposite. Okay, they want to complicate their living style. They want to add a lot of artificial opulence to their life, and what happens, they start thinking low because of that. High thinking is when you think about spirituality, when you think about Krishna. Okay, but they opposite, low thinking. Okay, they try to enjoy this material world to the utmost limit. Okay, and always engaged in inventing something for sense gratification, considering that as progress. Example is today's modern society, right? In reality, people are becoming more violent and cruel to even animals and human beings alike. Okay, lack of knowledge and behaviors with others. Animal killing is very prominent amongst demoniac people, and such people are enemies of the world. So demoniac people are just a burden to the society. Okay, they're just a burden to the society. Prabhupada explains in the purports. Kamam ashritya dushpuram damba mana madanvitaha mohad grihitva grahana pravartante shuchivrataha. So taking shelter of the insatiable lust and absorbed in the conceit of pride and false prestige. The demoniac, thus illusioned, are always sworn to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. Okay. uh, Insatiable lust. Lust can never be satisfied. Okay. And more the lust, more you want to accumulate, and more you accumulate, more and more proud you are of all that you have. Okay. And more you are proud, more and more anxious you become, because we become anxious. Okay. When you have more wealth, you become anxious. Oh, whether I'll be losing that wealth, whether somebody will be coming and taking it off, right? Anxious to earn, anxious to lose as well, anxious to store it as well. Okay. This is all, it all begins with lustful desires. Okay. And this is due to maya, illusion, thinking that all this is permanent. We are not going to take a rupee with us when we die, when we leave this body, okay, and go to the other body. So we have to understand that. Demoniac people do not understand that. So learning Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam is all an attempt to to cultivate the real knowledge and jump from the demoniac platform to divine platform. Okay. And then Ashuchi Vrata, accumulating sins, committing more and more sins due to sinful activities. Okay. And due to false pride and false prestige, they create some principles of religion not approved by the Vedic injunctions, and they have their own philosophy. Okay. And then they say, this is what I feel, and whatever I feel is correct. Okay. No, always go to the Shastras and check. Okay, that is like a standard encyclopedia. We have to always go to the Shastras and check what we are feeling or what we are doing is correct or wrong. Okay. The most handy scripture you can check with is Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Unfortunately, world creates a false honor for them. Okay. Although gliding toward hell, they still consider themselves to be very much advanced. Again, it is out of ignorance. Okay. So we will be stopping here. From 11th shloka we will be doing tomorrow. And